December 2nd, 1993 marked the end of an era, but what transpired next became a mosaic of clandestine operations, shifting alliances, and a cat-and-mouse game with law enforcement. Today, we're delving into the intriguing aftermath of Pablo Escobar's demise. Stick around as we uncover the untold stories and surprising developments that unfolded after the notorious drug lord's death. Escorted to the grave. 30 years ago, on the fateful day of December 2nd, 1993, the once untouchable narco kingpin, Pablo Escobar, breathed his last atop a terracotta roof in the heart of Medellin. It was the culmination of a tumultuous era that had gripped the world's attention, characterized by a deadly dance between violence, narcotics, and ruthless power struggles. As the dust settled on that rooftop, a pivotal chapter in history closed, leaving behind a void that begged the question, what unfolded in the aftermath of Escobar's demise? Let's embark on the journey to uncover the intriguing tales that followed. With the notorious drug lord no longer orchestrating his criminal empire, the void left by Escobar's departure triggered a series of seismic shifts in the criminal landscape of Colombia. The events that transpired in the wake of his death would not only shape the destiny of the nation, but would also echo across the realms of law enforcement, politics, and international relations. As the news of Escobar's demise reverberated globally, law enforcement agencies, both domestic and international, were quick to adapt to the changing dynamics. The hunt for those who sought to fill the power vacuum began in earnest, with Colombian forces, DEA agents, and various factions vying for control of the remnants of the once mighty Medellin cartel. The vacuum left by Escobar's absence became a battleground for power struggles among rival cartels, paramilitary groups, and emerging criminal factions. The rise of new contenders and the repositioning of existing players in the narco-trafficking arena became a fascinating saga that unfolded against the backdrop of a nation grappling with the challenges of post-Escobar reformation. Now, what are the notable changes after his new hierarchical structure? The exit of Pablo Escobar ushered in a profound metamorphosis within Colombia's underworld. No longer tethered to the dominance of a single kingpin, the once rigidly hierarchical structure underwent a dramatic shift. The days of a select few holding sway over the criminal landscape gave way to a more fragmented and horizontally organized terrain. In the absence of Escobar's iron-fisted control, various criminal groups emerged, each vying for a piece of the lucrative underworld pie. This newfound decentralization meant that power was no longer concentrated in the hands of a select elite. Instead, it diffused across a spectrum of players, challenging the established order that had prevailed during the height of Escobar's reign. These emerging entities displayed a heightened versatility, diversifying their criminal portfolios beyond the traditional drug trade. With the former kingpin's influence waning, the criminal map of Colombia transformed into a dynamic mosaic, where different factions sought dominance in various illicit enterprises. The once clear lines of authority blurred, creating a landscape defined by competition, uncertainty, and ever-shifting alliances. Invisibles. After Escobar, a new group called the Invisibles showed up. Unlike Escobar, who liked showing off his fancy stuff, these guys decided to stay low-key. They figured out that if you flash your wealth and act all violent, you attract too much attention. So instead of being in the spotlight, they chose to stay invisible. These Invisibles didn't want trouble from cops or other bad guys. They understood that being flashy could bring unwanted problems. By staying low and not drawing attention to themselves, they tried to play it safe in the changed post-Escobar scene. This switch up in their style affected how things worked in the drug trade in Colombia. The Invisibles made a conscious choice to be more discreet, unlike the old days when drug dealers were all about being showy and loud. Increased foreign influence. Back in Escobar's time, there were deals with Mexican groups to move cocaine around. But when there was a peace deal with FARC, Mexican cartels had to look for new friends in Colombia. So now there's more outside influence, with Mexican cartels supporting different Colombian drug crews and checking out new markets outside the United States. The whole scene changed because of these new connections. It's like a shift in partnerships, where Mexican cartels are teaming up with different players in Colombia. Instead of just focusing on the US, they're eyeing fresh opportunities elsewhere. It's kind of like the drug trade is going international, with different players from different places getting in on the action. With Escobar out of the picture, the once centralized criminal hierarchy fractured into a myriad of factions, creating a more unpredictable and horizontally structured underworld. As we reflect on these transformations, it's evident that the end of one era marked the beginning of a complex and ever-evolving chapter in Colombia's underworld. If you found this story intriguing, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and subscribe for more content like this. Until next time.